10 reasons why you are always anxious. Are you like those people who are always on the verge of a mental breakdown? Those who have a cold hand in front of a difficult situation or person? Do you have a fast heartbeat dealing with some daily stuff in your life? These are all conditions faced by a person who has an anxiety disorder. Anxiety is one of the most common stressful and disturbing parts of an individual's life, which has made them weak. This is because of many reasons they are dealing with in their day-to-day life. Anxiety is linked to the mental illness of a human being, which affects their overall well-being. We have collected 10 reasons why you are dealing with an anxiety disorder. Number 1, a toxic family. One of the most significant reasons for always staying stressed or anxious is having a toxic family member or a friend. These kinds of people are controlling, manipulative, and judgmental. They keep you in their influence by saying such words or portraying such actions which would damage your self-esteem and make you feel like they are right. Toxic people are so damaged internally that they determine other people based on their own insecurities. They don't have the self-control to stop themselves from hurting others. These kinds of people make you the most anxious because of their unstable mental condition. They will never support, encourage, or let you grow and will never miss a chance to demotivate your well-being. Number 2, disturbing family life. Having a disturbing past or present life makes a person emotionally damaged. Are you one of those people whose parents are always fighting? Do you have a relative who keeps on nagging you in your family affairs? This is why many people are on the verge of an emotional breakdown, as they have a disturbing family life. Some people deal with such an emotionally destructive past, which leaves an imprint on their souls. The flashbacks of fighting, arguing, or disrespectful behavior among your family damages you for the long term. This is why professionals always recommend people have a peaceful and happy life in front of their children. Number 3, a challenging past. This might be a sensitive issue to talk about, but is basically found in many people who have had an abusive past life. Are you one of those people who had sexual or physical harassment or abuse experience? Did your math teacher used to beat you for not working hard enough? Did one of your relatives used to physically abuse you and threaten you to not tell anyone? Anxiety is a mental disorder found in people who have had a challenging past experience and are still not over it. Many people, mostly children, are met with physical harassment by strangers or their relatives or friends. These people have had such a stressful past, which makes them not prosper in their present or future lives. They are always overthinking and putting themselves in an anxious state. People might take advantage of an individual, which gives them self-pleasure for some time, but the atrocities of their actions always leave other people with a mental disorder. Number 4, toxic surroundings. Most people indulge in such surroundings or friendships, which strains their vibrant energy and makes them anxious. Toxic friends are one of those people who do not let others achieve great things in life. They have such a negative perception that they do not allow another person to be themselves. They will judge you, emotionally harass you and your lifestyle, just for the sake of their own enjoyment. Toxic friends are the most selfish creatures because of their inability to let others be happy. They will enforce you into doing things that will satisfy their ego. You can never win in front of a toxic friend because they will manipulate you in such a way that would break you down emotionally. Number 5, stressful work environment. A stressful work environment can make almost anyone anxious. A workplace that does not let the openness of others' emotions and values puts their employees in a tense place. The strict or rigid rules and regulations that do not allow individual growth are also a stressful workplace environment. The overburdening of daily work and exceeded expectations strain out the energy of any person. Therefore, a person should only work in an environment which would allow their self-growth and prosperity with their favorable environment. Number 6, overthinking. Most anxious people are also the biggest overthinkers. Are you worried about your future? Do you have a hard time meeting your daily goals or your parents' expectations? Overthinking is the process of overanalyzing or putting explicit expectations on yourself, which you have a hard time meeting. It makes a person find a problem even in the easiest of ways, makes them overanalyze what others say, and puts themselves in a stressful condition. Overthinking leads to several self-created issues for yourself, which seems impossible for you to manage. For example, you are selected by your professor to be the class representative. You will overthink the many reasons why you can't be compatible enough, by assuming your class fellows will envy you, and put yourself into an anxious state of mind. Number 7, you care what others think or say. Anxious people are the ones who care about what others say or presume about them. They want to lead a life that would make them acceptable to society or their surroundings. These days, people are ruthless and carefree about others' feelings, so they leave such comments about others' lives, emotionally exhausting them. To live a peaceful life, you should quit thinking about what others think about you and do what makes you happy. People who are always concerned about others will never live a contented life because their life's decisions will be based upon others' standards and expectations. For example, does your anxiety increase when you are at a social gathering? Do people's remarks about you put you in an unstable state of mind? In the end, anxiety can only be controlled by distancing yourself from such people. Number 8, having blood relatives with anxiety disorder. Some people are born into a family with a history of anxiety disorder issues. As anxiety is a mental illness, some people are born with it in their blood. Do you have a parent or sibling who has anxiety issues? Does your family overthink and put themselves in a stressful situation? Chances are you have inherited anxiety from that very anxious relative or family member of yours. In this kind of situation, it is harder for an individual to have a stable mindset because they have grown to see anxiety as a usual family factor. For keeping yourself or your blood relative safe from this disorder, it is imperative to consult a doctor as soon as possible. Number 9, an unhealthy lifestyle. Do you forget to eat 3 meals a day? Do you have a hard time caring for your needs and fulfilling them? One of the reasons for having anxiety disorder is because of an unhealthy or proper life routine. Once you start to neglect your own well-being and indulge in ways that affect your health, you will be more inclined towards having an anxiety disorder. To have a positive approach to life, it is essential to include a proper diet, meditate, or have a productive life. A person who is busy building a balanced lifestyle will be less adaptable to catch an anxiety mechanism in their body. And finally, number 10, a negative mindset. Anxious people are also the ones who can't manage themselves to think positively. They have an approach to life where they assume things to be wrong or to go wrong. They have a hard time trusting or letting others be responsible for them. They live their life thinking that everyone is wrong and that no one thinks of them as right. This negative mindset leads to building or assuming issues that do not even exist. It is a general phenomenon that only a negative attitude will attract negativity in their life. This is why anxious people had to go through more of the negativity because they have already assumed it to happen. Stressful people make a little world of their own where they believe things independently and do not let others include them in their lives. For example, suppose a person approaches to be understanding and helpful towards you. In that case, you will have a hard time trusting them because you assume them to make fun of your anxiety. This is why it is essential to believe in the power of positivity for living a stress-free and blissful life.